Hey guys, what's happening? Mike from Baby Girl Mining. So, what are we doing today? Well, we're not outside. I'll show you exactly why here in a minute. But I'm going to do a video today on panning. That's right, I'm going to do a video on panning today and show you some tips and techniques that I happen to use. So stay tuned, because here we go. Okay guys, so this is right outside my door. This is why we're not doing too much outside right now. It's coming down, first snow of the year, boo. Other people will like it, not so happy about it, but this is the reason why we're not out mining right now. Okay guys, so I'll show you a couple different pans here, so you can get a look at the pans and kind of got an idea of what the different pans are. Okay guys, this is the first pan right here. This is old trusty blue. I particularly like the color blue. I see a lot better with blue versus whether you have the green or the black. I happen to like the blue. That's the first thing. I like the blue colored pans. It's just easier to see for me. That's why you see a lot of the stuff I do in blue, because it's easier for me to see. Little backfill on the color contrast. The color contrast from gold to yellow, you can't see it. Yellow to white, it's a little bit harder. Black and yellow, it's very easy to see. Blue and yellow is very easy to see. Green and yellow is very easy to see. So that's why they have the different colored pans, so you can see the contrast of the gold. So that's first off. Second, I love these deep riffles right here. These deep riffles, it gives you a good set. I'll show you how I use these really well. And it also has these cleanup riffles right here, the small cleanup riffles. I love those. This is my favorite pan. I don't like the big pans. I like the smaller pans. It's easier for me to work. This is my favorite pan here. It's Pioneer Mining Supplies makes this one. I love these pans. These are great pans. I got a bunch of those. Second pan, it's a green pan. It's got the deeper riffles, kind of like the Garrett Super Sluice. Great pan. I have pan with these. The color contrast from the green to the gold looks really good on them. I do like them. It's a smaller pan. Just, you know, not as happy with it as I am with the other one because it's a little bit easier. This is a bigger 12-inch pan here. This is an older pan. It's only got the 3 little riffles in it. It's kind of more of a European style pan, except there's way flat. But this type of pan here is what you mostly see in some of the stores that they'll be selling, you know, for their 5 and dime kind of stuff. They're not a bad pan. They work. Just not a fan of them, so I don't use them that much. Then I got the grand old Big Daddy. Same as my little blue pan, made by the same people, except it's a bigger pan. When you get this bad boy filled up, it's definitely a 2-hand pan. You have to run it with a 2-hand pan because it's just so much weight you can't hardly maneuver it. That's why I like the smaller pans. A lot of people like the bigger pans. As you've seen earlier in our other video, Rick uses a bigger pan kind of like this. I prefer the smaller pans. This is just how I like it. But this one also gives you the smaller riffles, the large riffles here. Okay guys, so now you've seen the pans, you see how they all work out. The idea is the riffle is there to catch the gold. That's what it's after. And the way you work the pan is how you catch the gold. So with the pie pans, I'm going to show you how it is with the heavies on top and letting them sink to the bottom once you agitate the gravel and make it sink. Now there's ways to catch the gold, and I'm going to show those in some of the techniques that I use. We got our pie pans here. It's just a simple pie pan, but the idea is you'll be able to see underneath here so you'll be able to see what's going on. So I'm going to load up 2 pie pans. What I did is I got some BBs out of a shotgun shell and painted them yellow. And I want you to see the BBs, and then we're just going to put them right there. Gravel. Okay, so now we've added our lead BBs out of a shotgun shell that are painted yellow, that you can see them. You should be able to see those really well in there. Okay. Now, no matter what I do, I shake it around, do this, they're not really falling in, they're not moving in. Now we're going to take this and put it in water. And I want you to look on the bottom of the pan and see how the heavies drop. Now you can see everything starting to move. Now once I start shaking this, they're going to disappear real quick. See that, how they're disappearing real quick? They're gone all the way to the bottom. They're not on top anymore, they're all the way on the bottom. So we're going to take and drain some of this out, get rid of some of the material on top. I want you to get a good look right here. There's our heavies right there, sitting right in the bottom corner, just right underneath that dust, right in that first layer. See them there? Now you're probably seeing how it kind of drops out. It's not absolutely perfect, but it does drop down in that bottom corner, and that heavies sit down there. And that's what you want. You want the heavies to, you want to agitate it enough that the heavies drop down and get in that bottom corner of your pan and sit there. So now I'm going to show you some of the techniques that I use when I'm panning. Okay, so now we have our pan. You can see the white flour there. I've got the lead BBs in there. So now we're going to go ahead and get it wet and shake it down. Take the riffles when you're doing this. Riffles forward. The good pans will have a hole in the back where in the middle of your riffles right here. That's what you're looking for. Put that to your belly button. That's a good tip by Jeff Williams. Anyways, this fluid movement, as you can see it here, you see how fluid it is? If I stop, it's pretty hard. Nothing goes through it. But once it's fluid and it's moving, and everything falls right through it. You couldn't stop nothing like that. You stop it, it's solid. You move it, you shake it, it's fluid. So now we're going to clean this out. Try to get it to where you guys can see a little bit better. So now we're sweeping it out. Sweep, get some water in there. Make sure you bring it back around. Get it all nice and fluid. See the fluid movement of it moving around. Then we're going to stop, shake it forward a little bit, then sweep. All we're doing is sweeping the extra material off the top. It's really pretty much nothing. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Bring the water back in, shake it down. Okay, so now I'm down close. I'm going to take the gravel. See the material sitting in there? We're going to take the material and we're just going to rock it off that edge. I'm just keeping enough water in there that I can watch it rocking off the edge. And this is the tip that I use that makes it faster for me. I just rock it off the edge, because what it's doing is bringing the light material and dragging it forward. Everything that's heavy is still in those grooves. All we're doing is just keeping it in the grooves. And we bring it forward, we just keep going out, keep going out, keep going out. I'm always watching this front edge just to make sure there's something that I may be missing. If there is, I'll take it, bring it back, swirl it back around, and then go back at it again. Now you can start to see the BBs showing up in the back. We're down to that end. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Now I want you guys to get a really good look at this. You can see the BBs here. They're not here, they're not here, and they're not here. They're all in the last two. And most of them are in the first one. And depending on how big the riffles are, if you're using like the green pan I showed you, it could be, you know, hold it in there a little bit better or whatnot. But once you get it to this point, you come down here, you wash it all down into the bottom of the pan, and it sets in your pan. I'm going to drain some of this water off here. It all sets in your bottom of your pan. If you take it and tilt it, you can see them setting up there in your pan. So now to get it cleaned out, what I like to do is bring everything kind of into the center. So it looks kind of like this. And then what I'll do is take just enough water in there. So I put a little bit more water in there. I know everything's pretty much the center. And what I'll do is I'll tap it. And what I'm doing with this is I'm going to drive the heavies or the gold over to the edge. And I like to keep it flat, but you can see it's the heavies all worked over to the side that they wanted to go to. And then I just sweep away from it. Light sweeps. Not to swirl, because if you swirl, watch them go. See them going if I swirl? But if you just tap, and then you sweep down, they'll stay put. See that? And that's all you want to do, and then you take your stuffer bottle and go in and suck them out. And then what I do is once I get down to that point, when I get it all done for the day, I'll put them back in. I'll do the same thing a couple of times and get them cleaned out really good so I have good clean gold at the end. When you do have the really fine gold, you can take it over here to that little mini sluice I was telling you about. That's right there, small riffles. And I do the same thing across the small riffles. Now I can shake all the crap out of it, still keeping the fluid in there, the water in there, so it's moving. Now look, I ain't got hardly any material with it at all. And that's the tip that I have for you for panning, is that side shake. That side shake makes a lot of difference for me, because I'm able to keep the really heavy stuff down at the bottom and get the lighter stuff, even though maybe black sands or some of the other stuff, I can get it to float up and out. And that's the key point on that, is when you get that side shake like this. You see, I can even do it like this. They're not going anywhere. Whatever's there is staying right there. See that? But anything that's light is going to float up over it. And that's my key point for you for panning. Okay guys, so I hope that video really helped you out. I hope it shows you some of the techniques. Remember, once you guys get to the bottom and you're close, tap the edge, drives the heavies to the edge. That's what you're after. Pull it to the center, get you some space, pull them back. There's a couple videos out there that are really good videos on this. Doc from Gold Hog does another one. I'll make sure I leave a description below. Also, Jeff Williams does another really good one. I'll leave the description below on that too. So definitely check them out. I'm hoping my tip helped you out too. That's what I happen to use when I'm out there. It makes it go really quick for me. If you guys happen to have some tips that you use, put them in the comments below so that other people can learn your tricks and techniques that'll help them make them a better panner. So guys, that's it for me for the day. I'm out. Thanks for watching. And remember, rate, share, and subscribe. And I appreciate you guys. If you're liking some swag, check out babygirlmining.com. Peace, guys.